God literally told me to start this business. I know it probably sound cliche, probably sound woo-woo, but that's what it was, because it was never my dream to start a beauty brand. I always wanted to be a business owner, which I've been an entrepreneur since 2012 when I walked away from my government job. But I always wanted to be in fashion. Then I got into the film industry, and then that's when something happened that made me tap inside of the beauty brand. So if you're new here, obviously you are, because this is episode 1. My name is Sarette Davis, and welcome to Rich Glow Company. And we are excited to help you, whether you're starting a business, whether you're relaunching a beauty brand, a cosmetic line. We are here to help you, walk with you, because we know how frustrating it is to not understand where to go first, or you just feel overwhelmed with everything. But I cannot kick this off and share information if I don't give you the God honest truth. And the God honest truth is God was part of and still is part of the vision. So I'm gonna just share my journey with you. It may be long, I hope not too long, but I really want to share this journey because it may be something God told you to do that have you in disobedience, and this is why you haven't seen the manifestation of the business or the product you truly desire, because you haven't taken that first action. Okay, so let's take it back. I'm gonna take it back to 2017, 2018. I was working in television and film, and that's when I caught myself having like very abdominal pains. And I always was a person that suffered with like air gas, like trap gas in my stomach. And usually if I have like ginger or any type of peppermint tea, it usually eases. But this particular day, the pain did not go away. The pain did not subside. And the reason why I'm telling you all of this is because it's something in your life that you feel like it's been a test or challenging or a delay or deny that God is going to use to prompt and push the business or the seed that he wants to go forward, right? Because in life we often try to separate business and God, business and spirituality, when it's one and all the same, because our business is a seed, is a blessing from God. So we need to make sure we are stewarding it and make sure we are listening to when God say go, and not overthinking or even over strategizing. Okay, so in 2017, when I was in pain, I went to the emergency room. And when I went to the emergency room, it was hard for me to even drive. My family had to beg me to go. At this time, I was living in Atlanta, and all my family and stuff was here in New Orleans. And when I went there, they did an x-ray. They was like, you sure you're not pregnant? So I had to do a pregnancy test, and then they did an x-ray, and then they saw a large mass there. And then they was like, well, we have to send this out. So I had to go out, and then that's when they found out I had a fibroid. And at that time, it was 3 fibroids. And the first thing the doctor wanted to do was have a hysterectomy. And at this time, I'm in my 20s. I don't have, I'm in my late 20s, 2017. I'm sorry, y'all. No, at this time I'm in my early 30s. So I'm in my early 30s, and I don't have any kids. And I'm like, I don't want to have no hysterectomy. So I was just frustrated and just looking for a way. And they just wanted to put me on birth control. And I was like, absolutely not. After going through that process of now finding out I have fibroids, I'm talking to people on set, and they're like, look, you need to take turmeric pills because it's a lot of inflammation. Because one thing in the film industry that I did enjoy was it was a lot of holistic people on set, whether it was crew or actors or actress. And I didn't come from a holistic background. We took medicine, we went to the doctor, and we did as they say. So this was a new journey that I was embarking on that I didn't fully understand, that kind of felt woo-woo. You know how Christians just think everything is not of God when they don't understand it. Yeah, that's how I was thinking, religious mindset. Okay, and so and then I began to suffer with BV and yeast infection on top of that. And I'm like, okay, at this time I'm abstaining from sex, so why I'm suffering with this? I'm not understanding. I take a bath, I know how to clean myself, all the things, and I'm suffering with this. And someone told me about doing V-steam. So now it's 2018, doing a V-steam, and I felt better immediately. I felt so clean immediately. And I told that lady, I'm coming every weekend, every chance I get. And so that next weekend I went again. And then as I'm sitting there, Holy Spirit said, start this business in New Orleans. And I was like, absolutely not. Start this business in New Orleans. And so I'm like having this like mental dialogue, because I'm like, I don't know nothing about herbs. I don't know nothing about beauty, holistic. I just pay for the stuff. I am happy where I'm at career wise. I don't need to change. I could retire right here. That was my mindset at the time. And so as I'm sitting there, and the thought just did not want to leave me. And so now I feel bad, because I don't want this girl to think I came in her establishment and stole her idea, because I had already raved about how beautiful her suite was. And I just loved the ambiance, and I was just grateful for the information she shared. So when the service was over, I said, as I was doing this, Holy Spirit told me to start a business like this. And I don't want you to think I'm trying to steal from you, because I don't even understand it. This never was a dream or a desire of mine. And she was like, no, it's totally fine. It's enough room for all of us. And I was like, yeah, I'll be moving to New Orleans, back to New Orleans in a couple of months. And I may start one like this. Do you do any training? Because I would rather pay you to train me. And she was like, well, I just started, but here's an online class I use, and when I start training, I'll let you know. And that was that. So when I left there, it was just like this heaviness that just did not want to leave. And so me, I'm a researcher. If something come on me, I'm like gonna act fast, okay? And then prior to that, in 2017, God told me to move back home, and I fought it. I fought it, because why would I come back to New Orleans? Like, I am happy here in Atlanta. Why would I move back to New Orleans? That's almost like career suicide. And then in 2017, at that time, we were going through a little drought season in the film industry. So I kept saying, maybe it's me, maybe because the money not coming in like it used to, maybe it's fear. I'm just trying to talk myself out of it, but I'm like, I'm still not going. So that night, after leaving my V-Steam apartment, I went to Barnes & Noble, and I purchased every herbal book, every beauty book, because I don't even know where to start. I don't even know what I'm looking for. What do you call this business? I search online, I search Instagram. They didn't have nobody that had a V-Steam business. Like, people offered the V-Steam service as an additional service to what they already have, but nobody had a V-Steam business. And then on top of that, I'm not even an esthetician. I don't do makeup. I'm in fashion and film. I just deal with clothes and humans, right? And so it's just not making sense with me. So I'm excited. I wrote like a whole plan of, this is what I'll do. These are the type of service. These are the type of products I will want to have. I will want to have other people products, okay? And so I purchased those books, went home, prayed on it, shared it with my cousin, and was just super excited. Fast forward to 2019, at the end of January, I come back home, and I'm like, God, why do you have me here? Like, why do you have me in this city? And then at this time, the film industry is booming. It's so booming to where people are elevating and getting pushed up in position faster, because they don't have anybody to work, because it's so much work. And then like my family and friends in the industry, like, are you sure? Are you okay? Did you just need a mental break? I don't think that's smart for you to move to New Orleans right now. Like, do you see what's happening? And then so I was in a costume department, and so growth in that department would be like, okay, you're a PA, which I was a production assistant before, but I was now on set as a costumer. Then you become a key costumer, and maybe you want to be assistant designer, then you design, right? And so you had people that was just elevating quicker than usual, which should have took 10-15 years. They was doing it in months, because they needed people just that bad. And I'm missing out on all this money. Are you kidding me? But I stayed, because I knew it was something there that God had for me. And for the first time in my life, I was fully obedient to his call, even when it didn't make sense to my life. So I'm in New Orleans, and it took my friend to remind me, because I kind of had forgot about the V-Steam business. I pushed it off at that point. A few months had passed by, 2 months had passed by, and I pushed it off, and my friend reminded me. And I was like, I just don't know what I'm going to do here. I cannot get a job. I did not come back home to work. That don't even make sense. I haven't worked a job since 2012, right? And now, at that point, it's 2019. And she was like, well, what about the business you were telling me about? What about the V-Steam? Let's go try it out. And then when I went and tried it out, me and her, it was just like, I was like, I don't like the service. There was no interaction. It was nothing personal. I would never do this. So we were searching, trying to find the service here. And we could not find it on our level of our aesthetic of what we wanted to see in the service. So I said, you know what? Okay, God, you told me to start this business. If you want me to start this business, you got to provide this business. And that's something that I also want you to remember, that God will fund the vision that he gave you. Oftentimes we are trying to figure it all out, but when we begin to be obedient, God will have the provision already laid out. He just wants you to show up and say yes and have faith. Okay. And that's what I did. And I didn't even realize until I was thinking about this episode. Okay. So I went on this 7-day clarity fast. Okay. I went on this 7-day clarity fast because I needed to know, God, why I'm here. Do you really want me to start this V-Steam business? How can I build this? Because there is no blueprint out here for me to find inspiration from. And so I'm looking at all of YouTube. I'm waking up every day. I'm meditating. I'm praying to God. I'm just searching. And I was talking to my best friend husband about it. And I was like, I'm going to be starting this V-Steam business. I just want to see what's out here. I want to see how much rent is because I never had a building before. And he was like, well, they just built these buildings in Mid City. You should check it out. Here's the address. I was like, okay, I'll check it out tomorrow. So the next day I got in a car where I left out my apartment complex. I should have went right. I went left. And so as I'm driving, I see this building, that's familiar to me. And I saw for rent. So I was like, oh, let me just see how much it is. Because at this point, I'm in research phase. So I took a picture of the door with the for rent sign. I just wanted to see what's the pricing going. And as I'm taking a picture, a lady come out and was like, hey, do you want to see the building? And I was like, sure. So she take me in the building. I'm walking around. Soon as my foot crossed over the threshold, Holy Spirit said, this is it. And I'm like, absolutely not. This is it. And the reason why I say this is it was colorful walls. It was a doctor office for over 30 years for kids, right? And so it was colorful walls. They haven't changed anything for the whole 30 years they were there. Okay. And I was like, absolutely not. I'm just thinking about, I don't have the finances to fix this. I cannot come in this building. They got these old school floors. Absolutely not, right? So all of those, but I kept hearing, yes, this is the building. Yes, this is the building. Not making sense. And keep in mind that I'm on a 7-day clarity fast and this is day 2. And so I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm gonna talk to my dad as if my dad gonna pay for this. I'm gonna talk to my dad and we're gonna come back. She was like, okay, you could come back tomorrow. How about 1 o'clock or whatever? And so me and my dad went there. And he was like, oh, this is nice. And so he not understanding because I don't even understand. He don't understand what type of business I'm starting because I don't know what type of business I'm starting because I don't even have a name, product, service, client, customer in place to get a building. Okay. Trust in God. And so I told the lady, yes, I'll take this building. She was like, okay, I'll write up the lease. I'll have the details for you tomorrow. This is the deposit. Keep in mind, I only had about $2,700 to my name. And if I'm about to pay this, already have a car note, already have rent because I had an apartment already in New Orleans, even while I was living in Atlanta. So it was just like, this is all I have and I'm about to get this building? Are you kidding me? So I go home and I pray and I was like, God, what are we about to do? And I remember my friend told me they had applied for this a credit card a couple of months ago and they got $2,500 and then in 3 months it went up to $4,000. I was like, okay, cool. It'll be nice to get a little $2,500 credit card. Why I applied for a credit card that night and it was $25,000 approved. I'm gonna have to put that up there somewhere. I got approved for $25,000. I was just like, and it was so late at night. It was 1, 2 in the morning. It was my eyes was crossed. And I'm like, maybe I'm tripping. Do that say 2,500 or 25,000? And so, yeah, I got approved for 25,000. So the next morning I'm like, but I really need cash. It's great to have this credit line, but I need cash because everything is not going to accept credit. Okay. And so I was like, well, let me apply for a little loan to see what they do. So I'm thinking like maybe like a little 5,000. So as I'm applying, they asked me the amount. I was hoping they was going to tell me what I was approved for. And so I was like, okay, 12,500 approve. God will fund the business. And let me, for all the little yappers, you know, that like to say, but that's credit, that's credit, that's credit. This is the problem. We have to stop trying to figure out which way God is going to come. Because I'm going to fast forward because God paid it all. God paid everything in full within 2 years. Okay. So all the debt that I used to start the business, to fund the business, all got paid off. So I just want to put that there because I know many people are against credit, and that's the mindset that we have because wealthy people use credit to build and grow their brand and businesses. Now, my only suggestion would be not to use personal credit because it had me in a limbo for a year or so until I was able to pay that debt off. Okay. But you know, now that I know what I know, I would have went more of a business route versus using all my personal collateral up. So we still on this 7-day clarity fast, and we coming to an end, and I still don't have a name. I don't know honestly what I'm about to do, how I'm about to service. And let me tell you something, anxiety kicked in like never before. I never suffered with anxiety. I'm talking about it had me paralyzed to the bed. It had me not even want to go. I would be in the store purchasing something for the location, and it would be like, put it down. You're going to go broke. Let it go. My hands would be sweating. I would be in bed and like literally like I'm tug of warring with someone to get out of bed. And this is why I want to tell you why. This is why it's important to understand spirituality and God is important when it comes down to your businesses, because entities want to stop not your money, because baby, the enemy got money too, you know, not your products, not the service, but it want to stop the impact you're gonna make with your brand, with your community, with your finances. Okay, it don't have nothing to do with stuff, because bad people got stuff, good people got stuff, but it want to stop the impact. And that's why it's important to be involved with a community. That's why it's important to have a prayer life. That's why it's important not to separate God and business. And so what happened out of this 7-day clarity fast, because I wanted to share this personal testimony because I know how frustrating it is. Out of this 7-day clarity fast, I was able to take action because I was just moving with faith. And through my obedience, God blessed me in my obedience. So for some people, it might be 12 hours. For others, it might be a year. So don't get caught up on the 7 days. Get caught up on being obedient on what God told you, and not to get caught up on it. Because in these 6 years of being in business, a lot has happened, which I will share over time. You know, my father has, out of nowhere, I went through Hurricane Ida and lost everything in my first location. Okay, I had to close my business last year just after just being in grief and grieving, because I told you before that I had, the 3 fibroids. That's why the business started. I naturally removed 1, but in 2023, I found out I had 17 fibroids, and I had to get those removed because my body couldn't take it no more. I was just in so much pain. I honestly had gave up, right? Because nobody give us the blueprint of what to do when life happens. And this is why it's important for us to have structure. This is why it's important for us to have systems in place. Now, I was blessed to make multi-6 figures in business without systems. And I believe if I would have had system in place, I would have made 7 figures. I know for a fact. Okay. And I'm not just saying it because it's my brand and my product. I know the numbers, I see the numbers, and I see the consistency of my clients without doing all the things, without doing heavy marketing, without having influencers market my product. I did this just bootstraps on the ground. So I know what you could do organically, but I also know how further you could go by having systems in place, because I seen it with the clients I help. And it could be so frustrating, because I got frustrated at times and God had to show me. I got frustrated at times because I help people make, multi six figures in a business. And here it is, I'm struggling. Like, hold up, I'm doing the same thing as them. But you cannot judge your life. You cannot judge your day 400 on it day 1000, because you don't know what the promises that God gave him. You don't know the struggle. You don't know the sacrifice. You don't know their obedience. So be very careful when you're judging on what you are doing, because you could be judging it on sacrifice and not on obedience, and that is two different things. So I wanted to share that with you, and and I challenge you to have a clarity fast, and fast your way, and don't go in there with expectation, but don't go in it with it like I want it like Surrett. Go in it with it as, God, I want what you want for me. Okay, I need what you need for me to win. Because when you have that mindset and you not comparing it to my wins, my blessings, or other people, baby, you're gonna win in your area, because God know what you need. But oftentimes we're not speaking it. Oftentimes we're not clear on it, because we are blurred by our problems, our circumstances, or the people that's around us. But it's time to get clear on that. And this is why I created this free guide just for you. This guide is just to help you understand what's fasting, how to fast. And it's 7 days. And I'm giving you like journal prompts as well. It's not that deep. It's not heavy. It's not a lot of things that you have to do. And this is how simple life is. But the world wants you to make you think that you have to work super hard. You have to do a million things to be successful. Let me tell you, I'm in this era of, I'm calling it my rich glow era, hence Rich Glow Company. I am in my rich glow area where I don't want to work hard no more, because I seen what working hard could get you to zero, and I also seen what working hard could get you to a little money. I want what God wants for me, and I want a soft, easy mode. I need an easy mode in life, because these past 5 years was a lot, to say the least. Okay, and I needed to come easy. And if you feel the same way, I want you to have that same mindset, and you have to get clear on what you want in business. So I hope you're excited. Thank you for listening. I'm sorry if I ramble, but I just wanted to share this testimony. Let me know in the comments if this inspired you, and please subscribe to What Is Next. Be blessed.